If you receive Social Security benefits, there is a deadline coming up that could quietly shrink your monthly payment without any warning. And most seniors are completely unaware it even exists. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. A real change is rolling out, and it directly affects how the Social Security Administration reviews and processes your account. If certain information in your file does not match what they expect to find, your payment could be delayed or reduced starting as early as the 1st of April. And the worst part is that official notices about this have been written in language that is easy to miss, easy to dismiss, and easy to misunderstand. My name is Nancy, and on this channel, Senior USA Hub, I have spent over a decade helping seniors and their families understand exactly how to protect their Social Security income. I have seen what happens when people miss deadlines. I have seen the stress, the confusion, and the financial strain that follows. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what this change means, who it affects, and what you need to do before April 1st to make sure your benefits are fully protected. Stay with me through this entire video because the steps I'm going to share later could be the difference between receiving your full payment and waking up on April 2nd wondering where your money went. Let us start by understanding what this change actually involves. The Social Security Administration has introduced stricter verification requirements across all account types. That means retirement accounts, disability accounts, spousal benefit accounts, and survivor benefit accounts are all being reviewed under tighter standards. The system is designed to automatically flag accounts where information appears outdated, inconsistent, or incomplete. Now, here is where things get serious. This process is largely automated. There is no SSA representative looking at your file and giving you the benefit of the doubt. If the system detects a mismatch, your account gets flagged. And once it is flagged, payments can be held while the issue is being reviewed. That review process does not happen overnight. It can take weeks. So ask yourself this right now. When was the last time you actually logged into your Social Security account and reviewed every single detail? For most people, the answer is either a very long time ago or never. And that is exactly the kind of oversight that this new rule is designed to catch. The SSA wants current, accurate information across every account it manages. If your account has not been updated in years, the risk of it being flagged is real. Let me be specific about what kinds of information are being reviewed. Your legal name must match exactly what is on file with government records. Your date of birth must be accurately recorded. Your Social Security number must be correctly linked. Your mailing address must be current. And your direct deposit banking details must reflect your active account. These are the fundamentals, but they are also the areas where small errors are most likely to go unnoticed for a long time. Here's something that surprises a lot of people: a missing middle initial, a slightly misspelled last name, an old address that was never updated after a move. Any one of these small details can trigger an automated flag in the SSA system. It does not take a major error. It just takes an inconsistency between what the system has on file and what it expects to find, based on other linked records. Think about how much has changed in your personal life over the past few years. Have you moved? Have you changed banks? Has your contact information been updated everywhere it needs to be? These are questions worth asking right now rather than on April 2nd. Now, let us talk about spousal and survivor benefits, because this is an area that catches a lot of households off guard. If you or your spouse receives benefits based on the other person's work record, both of those accounts are now subject to this stricter verification process. And here's the part that makes this especially important. Inconsistencies between linked spousal accounts can affect both accounts at the same time. That means if your account is flagged because of outdated information on your spouse's record, your payment could be delayed, even if your own individual details are perfectly accurate. These accounts are linked in the SSA database, and issues with one can ripple into the other. For households where both spouses rely on their combined Social Security income to cover monthly expenses, this is not a minor inconvenience. This is a serious financial disruption. And what about the cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA? Each year, Social Security payments are adjusted to account for inflation. This year's adjustment was something many seniors were counting on to help offset rising costs for prescriptions, groceries, and utilities. But here is what most people do not realize. If your account is flagged before the COLA increase is applied, that increase may not reflect correctly in your payment. You could receive less than the adjusted amount you were expecting. And by the time the issue is resolved, you may have already missed one or more payments at the correct rate. So, what should you actually do before April 1st? Let me walk you through each step clearly. The first thing you need to do is log into your My Social Security account on the official SSA website. If you do not have an online account, creating one is free and it gives you direct access to your records. Once you are in, review every notification or alert on your account. These alerts are the SSA's way of telling you that something needs attention. Do not dismiss them. Read each one carefully and act on any that mention missing or outdated information. The second step is to verify your personal information. Pull up your full legal name as it appears in the SSA system and compare it to your official identification documents. Check your date of birth, your social security number, and your current mailing address. If anything does not match, update it immediately. Do not assume the system already has the right information. Confirm it yourself. Third, review your direct deposit banking details. This is critically important for anyone who relies on monthly deposits. Check the routing number and the account number currently on file. If you have changed banks since you last updated this information, your payment may be headed to an account that no longer exists. That kind of error does not get resolved quickly. Verify these details and make corrections if needed. Fourth, if you receive spousal or survivor benefits, check those linked accounts carefully. Confirm that the SSA has accurate and current information for all individuals associated with your benefit. Even a small inconsistency between linked records can cause both accounts to be flagged at the same time. Taking a few minutes to cross-check these details now can prevent weeks of payment delays later. Is it starting to become clear just how many areas a single oversight can touch? This is why acting now before the deadline matters so much more than waiting. Fifth, for anyone receiving disability benefits, this step is urgent. The SSA's stricter verification requirements apply directly to disability accounts. That means your medical records, your documentation of ongoing eligibility, and any forms that support your disability status all need to be current. Outdated medical records are one of the most common reasons disability accounts get flagged under these new requirements. If your last documentation submission was more than a year ago, contact your doctor's office and make sure updated records are on file with the SSA as soon as possible. Sixth, use this moment to review whether there are any benefits you may be eligible for but have not yet claimed. Many seniors are entitled to spousal credits, survivor benefit upgrades, or additional COLA adjustments that they have never applied for simply because they did not know they existed. Reviewing your account carefully could reveal money you have been leaving on the table every single month. Seventh, and finally, if at any point during this review process you find something unclear, or if you notice information that does not look right, call the SSA directly. The number is on the official SSA website. A single phone call to a representative can resolve issues that might otherwise sit in a queue for weeks. Document the date and time of your call, the name of the representative you spoke with, and the outcome of the conversation. This record can be invaluable if a dispute arises later. Now, let me share a couple of real situations that show exactly why all of this matters in a practical, everyday sense. Consider someone like a retired woman named Margaret. She had been receiving retirement and spousal benefits for several years. She assumed that because everything had been running smoothly, there was nothing to check. On the morning of April 2nd, her monthly deposit was noticeably lower than she expected. After spending most of that day on hold with the SSA, she discovered that her spouse's linked account had outdated contact information that had triggered an automatic flag. The system had applied a temporary hold to both accounts while the issue was being reviewed. The result was a payment that was $200 short and a review process that took nearly 3 weeks to resolve. A 30N INET account review in March could have completely prevented that situation. Now consider a disabled veteran named John. He had received disability benefits for several years but had not submitted any updated medical documentation in nearly 2 years. When the new verification requirements took effect, his account was automatically identified as requiring updated documentation. His benefits were placed on hold for over a month while his records were reviewed. During that time, he had to rely on family members to help cover his monthly expenses. The financial and emotional stress caused by that 1 month delay was significant, and the entire situation was avoidable. These are not extreme edge cases. These are the kinds of situations that happen every single year to seniors who simply did not know what to check or when to check it. The new April 1st deadline raises the stakes because the SSA is now actively enforcing these verification requirements rather than passively leaving them in place as a background process. Let me also address a common mistake that many seniors make without realizing it. When you receive an email or a letter from the SSA, it is very easy to assume it is routine or not urgent. Many seniors set these communications aside with the intention of reading them later. Later becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And by the time they finally look at it, a deadline has already passed or an account has already been flagged. Treat every piece of correspondence from the SSA as something that deserves immediate attention. Even if it turns out to be routine, reviewing it quickly costs you almost nothing. Ignoring it can cost you a great deal. Another mistake is assuming that because nothing seems wrong, nothing is wrong. The SSA system does not send you a warning notice before it flags your account. The first sign that something has gone wrong is often a payment that is smaller than expected, or a payment that does not arrive at all. By the time you notice that problem, the flag has already been applied and the review process has already begun. Prevention is always faster and easier than correction in this situation. A third common mistake is failing to account for all the linked accounts in your household. Many seniors focus only on their own individual account and overlook the accounts of their spouse or any survivor benefits connected to their record. All of these are interconnected in the SSA database. An issue with any one of them can affect the others. Reviewing all accounts together rather than individually gives you a complete picture and reduces the chance that something important gets overlooked. Let me give you a few practical tips that will help make this review process as smooth and efficient as possible. Set aside at least 1 full hour to go through your SSA account without distractions. This is not a task to do in 5 minutes between other activities. Give it the time and attention it deserves. Before you sit down to review your account, gather the key documents you are likely to need. That includes your social security card, a government-issued photo identification, your banking information, and any recent correspondence from the SSA. Having these ready before you start will make the process much faster and prevent you from having to stop and search for things mid-review. If you have a trusted family member or close friend who is comfortable with technology, ask them to sit with you during the review. A second set of eyes can catch things that you might overlook. This is especially helpful when comparing information across linked spousal or survivor accounts. After completing your review, set a recurring reminder on your phone or calendar to check your SSA account at least once every 3 months. Annual reviews are not frequent enough in an environment where rules and verification requirements can change. Regular check-ins keep you ahead of potential issues and give you early warning if anything in your account has changed unexpectedly. Now, let us bring this all together with a clear summary of why April 1st is so significant and why the time to act is right now. The Social Security Administration is implementing a stricter, more actively enforced verification process that takes effect on this date. Accounts that have outdated, incomplete, or inconsistent information are at risk of being automatically flagged. Once flagged, payments can be delayed or reduced while the review is in progress, and this affects all account types, including retirement, disability, spousal, and survivor benefits. The cost of missing this deadline is not just financial. It is the stress of calling the SSA repeatedly. It is the uncertainty of not knowing when your payment will arrive. It is the difficulty of covering monthly expenses while waiting for a review to be completed. For seniors who rely on their Social Security income as their primary source of financial stability, that kind of disruption can have a cascading effect on everything from housing to healthcare. The good news is that protecting yourself is completely within your control right now. Log into your My Social Security account. Review your personal information. Verify your banking details. Check your linked spousal or survivor accounts. Update your medical documentation if you receive disability benefits. Look for any unclaimed credits or adjustments you may be entitled to and contact the SSA directly if anything looks wrong. These steps are not complicated. They do not require any special knowledge or expertise. They just require a willingness to take action before the deadline rather than after it. And here's something I want you to think about for a moment. Every single dollar you receive from Social Security is money you earned and contributed to over the course of your working life. You deserve to receive every dollar of it on time, without disruption, and at the correct adjusted rate. This new rule is not something that exists to make life more difficult for seniors. But if you are not prepared for it, the result can absolutely feel that way. Preparation is the only thing standing between your benefits and an automated benefits and an automated system. That system that does not know your circumstances and does not make exceptions. Acting now, exceptions. Acting now, even if it only takes an hour of your time, is one of the most meaningful steps you can take. Steps you can take to protect your financial stability heading into the months ahead. If you found this information helpful, please take a moment to give this video a like. It it genuinely helps more seniors find this content when they need it most, and content when they need it most. Preparation is the only thing standing if you are not already following seniors pathway. Now is a great time to do that, so you never miss an update about changes that could affect your benefits. The rules around Social Security can change, and when they do, you want to hear about it from a source that explains what it actually means for your everyday life, not just what the official notices say. On this channel, that is exactly what we focus on: clear, actionable guidance delivered before deadlines, not after them. Coming up on this channel, we are going to be covering additional changes that are expected to affect Social Security payments in the months ahead. Topics include what to do if your COLA increase was not correctly applied, how to check whether you are receiving the maximum spousal benefit you're entitled to, and step-by-step guidance for updating disability documentation without having to navigate the SSA system alone. These are videos you will not want to miss if protecting your benefits is a priority. Take the time today, review your account, verify your information, and make sure that when April 1st arrives, your account is ready. You have worked too hard and contributed too much to let a small administrative oversight stand between you and the income you have rightfully earned. The deadline is real. The risk is real. But so is your ability to prevent any of this from affecting you. Do not wait.